Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi, welcome to our vlog. I'm Martina.
And I'm Tom.
And today we're going to be talking about movies again. And we had Tom pick a year out of our Red Solo Cup. And what year did you pick, Tom?
I put out the year 2001.
2001. So when he first picked that year, I was like, oh, that's going to be easy to pick a movie. You know, 85 was so hard, but 2001 shouldn't be that big of a deal. And if you haven't seen our 85 vlog, I will go ahead and link it down below so you can see that. That was our first movie pick year. But 2001 ended up being quite challenging.
It was like 400 films for 85 that were produced. In 2001, we're looking at over 4,000 films.
And there's some quality content there,
Yep.
right? You would think 2001 probably didn't have a lot to offer, but definitely if you check out the number of movies that were made that year and the quality of those, you'll be surprised yourself probably, unless you're a real movie buff and have that memorized, which more power to you.
It was 2001, so the movie companies had to step it up.
They sure did. And so, Tom, what was your number 3 pick for 2001?
Mine was a horror film called Jason X, which stands for Jason 10. Out of the whole Friday the 13th series.
Well, let's watch the trailer and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Yep.
In the year 2455, on a routine training mission, a team of students is about to discover a life form frozen in time.
Wow. They're on their way back. Prepare for docking and power up the lab.
You brought him on board?
Everything's under control, ma'am. What the hell is going on?
Jason Voorhees, that's what's going on. He's an unstoppable killing machine.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
How do we get off the ship?
I don't know.
Look, we're gonna be all right.
What? Are you high?
Uh-oh.
He's here. You have got to get them out of there.
Hey, Slappy!
I think we're finally okay.
What the hell is that? You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, wow.
He's been modified. Oh, you think? You guys might want to run. I don't think he's out there.
Why don't you just stick your head out and have a peek?
So, wow, that's a lot of action. Lots of action. Jason goes to space.
How cool was that?
Pretty cool.
He goes to space and chops up most of the space students. So it was cool though. It paid homage to like some of the old killings, you know, that around what was it, Camp Crystal Lake. And yep, how cool is that? So I liked it basically because well, I like horror films, but this one just actually had the most outrageous ways of people getting killed in films that I've ever seen in my life. I don't know who came up with the ideas, but it was just like, most of them were jaw-dropping for me. They're just intense, you know. And then they whip out some of the old classics too. Like,
That's really cool.
Yeah, like swinging somebody around in the sleeping bag against the tree and stuff like
Oh, that was rough.
that. Yeah. So
I haven't seen that movie, so it's something I probably need to catch up on. And I kind of like the fact that they took a page out of the Terminator in styling Jason. He looks very new wave.
yeah, they made him robotic.
They sure did. So he survived a number of years and then was launched into space just for the sole purpose of killing a bunch of people.
Yep.
So that's awesome. So my number 3 pick for 2001 is Shallow Hal.
Oh, awesome.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite movies, not just for 2001, but in general. So let's watch the trailer and then we'll come back and talk about it.
It was
Every man has a dream. Every man has a fantasy. Every man has an image of the perfect woman.
When are you gonna get it?
What are you talking about?
It never occurred to you that picking girls solely on their looks may not be the best way to go about it?
But one man is about to get a whole new perspective.
Al Larson, I'm going to do you a great favor.
Really?
From this moment on, whenever you meet someone in the future, you're only going to see the inner beauty.
What are you doing? I am rescuing you. From what? From what?
This fall,
I gave them the ability to see the inner beauty, their heart, their soul.
He hypnotized you.
You're saying that all the pretty girls I've met lately aren't really pretty.
Hal Larson is dating a vision only he can see.
Oh, there she is. There's Rosemary.
Where?
Right there.
Is she behind the rhino?
20th Century Fox presents.
Haven't you ever heard the phrase that beauty is in the eye of the beholder?
Have you heard the song Who Let the Dogs Out?
Gwyneth Paltrow,
Oh,
Jack Black,
Are you okay?
brain freeze.
Jason Alexander,
I don't want anything to do with you, you little warthog.
You had me at Get Lost.
in a comedy of gigantic proportions.
What in the...
You wanna see a splash? I'm gonna show you a splash. Ready?
Hey, Billy, stay over near the ladder.
Shallow Hal.
Billy? Billy?
Daddy!
So yeah, that movie is just fabulous, I think. I think Jack Black did a great job. Gwyneth Paltrow, she looks beautiful, and then I can't believe what they were able to do with the body modifications, and obviously they had some doubles in there too, but there's plenty of scenes where they pretty much made her to be bigger than she is, and that looks very believable. So, but I think the story is just very heartwarming, beautiful. You know, you've got the children and the burn ward.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
That is not just a great movie scene, but it's so real too, because you know there's children that have had to go through something so horrible.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so the whole movie's great. And then the gentleman with the, I don't know if he's got not muscular dystrophy, it's something else, but the gentleman that is in the club scene, and then they go, I think, on a trip together. But also that was a real, you know, disability that he had. So I think they just brought a lot of elements to the movie that were not just talking about obesity, but you know, challenges, physical challenges in general, and I'm not sure that a lot of people pick up on that.
Well, or people, you know, if it's a physical challenge, people just see that as ugly.
See it as ugly.
You can't be a person. They don't see you as a real person if you have problems like that.
Right, and I think that, so if you go a little bit beyond the surface on that movie, that it does tell a story, and it does bring in some real elements into the storyline, so I love it. And then the gentleman that, he's like, I think he's like Hawaiian or Samoan in there, and he plays the little guitar. It kind of reminded me of 50 First Dates with some of the soundtrack.
Well, that's God, I can't remember his name. His name is Iz. That's short, I-Z, but he's got like a really long Hawaiian name, and he's a real famous vocalist from Hawaii. But
Didn't he die?
He's very obese, and he died. You know, he died from that. But he didn't get popular until his song was used in Meet Jack Black. Not Jack Black, but
it was 50 First Dates, maybe, no?
Well, he was in that, but then what was that one where Brad Pitt paid the devil?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they used his song in that movie, and his career, singing career skyrocketed.
Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black, yeah.
That's a great movie too.
Which is a remake of the old 40s, 50s version of that too.
So yeah. So anyway, that movie's a definite must-watch. If you haven't seen it, you have to see Shallow Hal. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, it's Jeff Black at his prime too.
Yeah, yeah. So what's your number 2 pick of 2001, Tom?
My number 2 pick is a film called K-Pax.
All right, let's watch trailer.
I'd like to begin by asking you if you know why you're here.
Of course. You think I'm crazy.
He claims to be not human. Visitor from another planet.
K-Pax.
K-Pax?
It's about 1,000 of your light years away from here.
You're really from up there?
That's a lovely configuration you're wearing today.
Thank you.
I would say that you've misread Einstein, Dr. Powell.
Definitely has a sensitivity to white light, but I think it's his range that you'll find interesting. He can detect light at a wavelength of up to 300 to 400 angstroms. Ultraviolet.
Chuck, I didn't think human beings could see ultraviolet light.
We can't.
Doctors Patel and Hessler.
Doctor. How many doctors are there on this planet?
How could you know this?
Why choose this one to say?
I don't know. Maybe because I feel he chose me.
You should smell the York blossoms on my planet. In a gentle breeze.
I would like to smell that.
She says she doesn't like it when you hide her favorite tennis shoe, and she doesn't hear so well on her left side, so don't sneak up on her anymore.
No way.
So, yeah, that's a pretty deep drama, right?
Yep, that's Kevin Spacey and Jeff Bridges, which I love both of them, about a disillusioned man who says that he's from another planet, and Jeff Bridges is assigned a psychologist to try to figure out, what's wrong with him, and the story takes lefts and rights so hard that you're like, oh my god, he is an alien. Oh wait, no he's not. Well, yes he is. No he's not. So it twists you so bad that, and you only have to, you have to watch it all the way to the end, and then you find out the truth.
And I love the dramas from the previous decade. There's a lot of them that are really worth seeing, and K-Pax is certainly not on low on that list. So it's been a long time since I've seen that movie, and this has really made me want to go ahead and rewatch it because I'm not sure that I remember the intricacies and the details of that movie, and I'd really like to see it again. So maybe it's something you and I will have to watch in the coming week.
Yep, I got it. Yep, we can watch it.
Okay. So the number 2 pick for me is Sweet November, which is a romance. Let's watch a trailer and then we'll talk about it after.
Then you worry too much. I worry because worrying about losing keeps you winning.
Did you forget your 1 o'clock at the DMV?
Beatrice, I don't have time for this.
And I bet you don't have time for jail. I'm okay.
Hey, number 9, true or false?
Excuse me.
Why would I cheat on a DMV test? What are you doing?
Buying redemption.
Redemption's not for sale today. So, does your mom know you treat women like dirt?
Uh-oh, I smell trouble.
Nelson, I can help you. See, I have a gift.
How does a lunatic like you help a guy like me?
You have to live with me here for a month. You live in a box. I could lift the lid.
Live here and let you mess with my head for a whole month.
Yeah, we can start midnight, 1st of November.
What are you doing?
Taking your shirt off.
Why?
Because you smell like puppy pee.
Where are my clothes?
No more suits.
Woo! He spent $15.
Bruce, I just gave you those clothes.
Those are my pants. Hey!
It must be November.
Who can say where the day flows? Only
What's wrong with your TV?
It's a planter.
Right.
who can say
What are you more afraid of? Spending 2 consecutive nights with the same woman or finding out this thing might not be as crazy as it seems.
You defy every law of nature I know. These rules, they give it the illusion of control. Don't mess with that. This is it. Life will never be better or sweeter than this.
You know, he asked me to marry him.
It's not the first.
But it was the first time I wanted to say yes.
November is all I know, and all I ever want to know.
So Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron, isn't that just a beautiful movie?
Are we going to talk about it or cry about it?
We're going to cry a little, and then maybe we'll talk a little, and then we'll cry a little bit more. It's a sad, sad movie, and, well, sad and inspiring, I guess, at the same time. But Keanu looks fantastic. Charlize, of course, when does she not look fantastic? It's just a beautiful story. I think it's got a nice message in there as well, you know, to slow down and take the time to smell the roses, because you just never know what can happen. And that's also reality again, too. So just a beautiful romance, and it's definitely worth watching. You know, he did a couple movies in that time frame that were like that. I think Lake House is another one that I just love.
I've seen that one.
That's a good movie. So yeah, it's a great romance, great first date kind of movie. If she's coming over and you're gonna cook her a meal, I would highly recommend that movie as a pick. It'll show your softer side.
Okay, I noted that one.
So that was my number 2 pick. Tom, what's your number 1 pick?
Number 1 pick. Since I like sci-fi so much, I really enjoyed AI, artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was directed by Stanley Kubrick. It was his last film that he did, which is my all-time favorite director, and I think he's the best director that ever lived. And he passed halfway through the film, and then Steven Spielberg, who was the executive producer, picked up and finished it. And when you watch the film, you can actually tell which parts are Stanley Kubrick's and which parts are Steven Spielberg. You got Stanley Kubrick doing the real cerebral, intense scenes, and then you got Steven Spielberg who does those warm E.T. phone home kind of scenes. So you just know where. Yeah, I mean, I like them both, but it's just such a power struggle kind of film. But it just somehow it works, you know. And I love Jude Law. Yeah, he's as the prostitute robot.
Yeah. Let's watch a trailer and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about it.
When's your birthday? I never had a birthday.
His name is David.
I feel it. That's creepy. Whoa. Feels so real.
In a distant future, in an age of intelligent machines, he is the first robotic child programmed to love and coexist as a member of a family. His is a tale of humanity and a journey to find his place among humans and machines.
I'm a boy.
You are a real boy. At least as real as I've ever made one.
So yeah, the teddy bear.
Oh, the teddy,
For me, that's just.
Yeah. I want a teddy.
I want a teddy too. I cried deeply for that teddy bear. You know, when things didn't go quite the way you wanted it to. I think that scene where the real child kind of tells him, "Hey, well, you're just the toy." That to me just tore my heart out. I will forever remember that scene.
Well, all he wanted was to be with his mom, and he never got it. But he ended up, you know, outliving everybody, and it's just a sad story. But you know, but it's not a spoiler, but it's probably going to happen anyway. But it goes up to almost 2,000 years, even past that, and aliens are digging us up, our remains, and figuring out like what we're about, and and it's about, the movie tells about our responsibilities about what we build and how we handle it and stuff like that.
And the unrealistic piece of this movie is that in the future, whatever the human race turns into is actually more empathetic and kind than what we are today, and I'm not really sure that that's where we're headed. Yeah. So I wish, but I don't see that coming to you.
No, well, bad things were happening at the time, so I think it's what changed people.
Maybe. Bad things are happening today.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe that's the message. Hey, let's all be nicer to each other and think about our feelings.
It's got global warming issue messages, everything in it.
So yeah, that movie tore me to bits. It's hard for me to actually watch because I empathize with Teddy so much that I just, oh my gosh, I just want to cry even now.
Teddy,
Oh.
when he had to sew himself back up.
Oh my goodness. Poor baby. Oh, I just want to hug him. No locking Teddy in the closet. That is just not right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, my number one pick for 2001 is Hedwig and the Angry Inch. So let's watch the trailer because I don't know that I can do it justice without you really seeing the trailer first.
Ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not.
Ow!
Hedwig!
Don't you know me, Kansas City? I'm the new Berlin Wall. Try and tear me down. How did some slip of a girly boy become the internationally ignored song stylist barely standing before you?
Damn, I can't believe you're not a girl.
Looks like we got some sugar daddies in the house. You could give me a cavity, honey. Now you're interested, huh?
Inch, not itch.
Intrigued. It is clear that I must find my other half. But is it a he or a she? Can two people actually become one? The dark turns and noise of this wicked little town. One day in the late mid-80s, I was in my early late 20s.
I never knew that woman before that night, and I never knew she wasn't a woman.
I've got a sweet tooth. Songs exploded out of us. We were outgrossing monster trucks in Wichita. When it comes to huge openings, a lot of people think of me. I had tried singing once, and they threw tomatoes. So after the show, I had a nice salad. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, both of you. Did you put a bra in a dryer? Yeah. How many times do I have to tell you? You don't put a bra in a dryer! It warps! Okay, everybody. I put on some makeup. Suddenly I'm this punk rock star. And I ain't ever, I'm never turning back. Hey boy, take a walk on the wild side.
Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
When I think about all the people I have come upon in my travels, I have to think about the people who have come upon me.
Yeah, I think that the trailer actually doesn't do the movie as much justice as I would have hoped. I feel like there's a darker undertone to the story, and if I had to guess, the reason they didn't include the more intricate plot is because people maybe wouldn't want to see it if that was the case. So trying to keep it lighthearted and kind of like a hair type scenario, they maybe thought they would attract a wider audience, and I can certainly understand that.
Well, wasn't it at the same time as like movies like Birdcage, so they're trying to keep it all light and happy?
Yeah,
and,
yeah, but that's not this movie.
And Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Yeah, right. So anyway, I just feel like the story is much deeper than what the trailer will lead you to believe. So if you haven't seen it, really, I do implore you. I do implore you to give it a shot. I
think it's a little hard to get a hold of too.
Is it?
I think. I mean, I could be wrong. I think they may have put it on Blu-ray now, but for a while it was really hard to get.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if they have. issues with the music, and they had to take it out of print for a while. But
and I'm sorry for all the background noise. I believe that because it's raining pretty hard, the cats think it's 5 o'clock when it's really not yet, which would be their normal feeding time.
Yes.
So they're confused by daylight. What are you gonna do? I'm not about to refilm this whole thing because I've got a bunch of loud mouths in the background. So in any way, definitely Hedwig and the Angry Inch. I feel like it's a beautiful movie. It completely blew me away when I saw it. I didn't know what I was about to watch, and it left a huge impression on me, and I really feel like you should see it too. I think Sticky would like you to watch it too, so give it a shot. So Tom, do you have any other honorable mentions?
Yeah, just some films like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Joe Dirt, one of my favorites.
I mean, there was like a lot of these, you know.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I was going to put that as one of my top 3 movies, if not my #1 movie, because for me that was the #1 movie of the year. But I felt like, well, who hasn't heard of Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Who hasn't seen Harry
Well,
Potter?
it's the start of the epic
If
films.
you haven't, you probably don't want to watch it, so why even mention it as far as top 3?
Yeah.
Rockstar. I loved Rockstar too, so you should definitely see that one.
I mean that started. This also Lord of the Rings started that year.
Yes.
And then Cameron Crowe's Almost Famous.
Yes, and then how about A Beautiful Mind? That's a great movie, right? Bridget Jones's Diary.
Yeah.
Love that movie, and I went to see that with my sister in the theater. And believe it or not, Wedding Planner. I love Jennifer Lopez in The Wedding Planner, so that was a great flick. And then Emily, the French movie, that was beautiful.
That's a good film.
So
I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Comment back. You know, what's your favorite
Absolutely.
films of 2001?
Yes. And if you end up watching one of the movies that we've recommended and you haven't seen it before, let us know. I want to know
If
that
you liked it or hated it.
Absolutely. We want to know your feedback on that.
I want everyone to watch Jason X, though. Watch that one first.
No. Watch Hedwig and the Angry Inch first. So, okay. So, yeah, I think that pretty much covers it for year 2001, right?
Yep.
Definitely watch the movies if you haven't seen them. Give us some feedback so we know that we were giving you some good picks, or if we're not, maybe you don't agree with the #1 pick of 2001 for us.
Share this video, comment, like us.
Yep.
Tell your mom, tell your dad.
Subscribe.
Well, we gotta go feed the cats.
Yeah, I guess so. They're telling us it's time. So until next time.
Cheers.
Bye.